Thanks very much, Ben. And the money has come here for the favourite, Interpretation. Currently rock solid at $2.90. Has been a firmer throughout the course of the week, and the money has continued on race day. Outside of the favourite, as you can see on screen, it is a very open race. We've currently got a $6.50 second Alexa Zero. He's a shocker, has been $10 into $7.50 in the last couple of days. Braden Starred, $7.50, and the ultra consistent Luncy's has been a little bit soft in the market, $6.50 and now an $11 chance. But Interpretation was $5.50 earlier on in the week and has been a big firmer all the way down to $2.90. We had a winning favourite last year with High Emotion. The previous winning favourite before that was Sartorius all the way back in 2013. But punters hope and anticipate Interpretation will add to the winners list today. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
This mounting yard is brought to you by 30 Days, 30 Deals at Macca's.
Well, the scene has been set for the $500,000 Group 3 APM Animal Health Bendigo Cup over 2,400 metres. It's got a terrific honour roll. High Emotion won the race last year, went on to run third in the Melbourne Cup. Interpretation and Hastler War have still got the Cup dream alive this year. Let's start with Luncy's. You won't miss him in the yard, BZ. The Ghostly Grey, the Tats Cup winner of last preparation. The tactics notification to be more forward this afternoon. Blake Shin jumps into the saddle.
He's a quality horse, and he comes through some decent staying races in Sydney to prep for a contest like this. And you might look at his recent run and think he finished 9th. Well, it was 8th. He was a $2 million race, and he's only beaten 3 lengths behind Montefilia, and he was warming up at the finish at the end of 1,900 metres. He's a strong chance in this, and with Blake Shin in the saddle, I think he's going to be hard to beat.
Number 2, He's a Shocker, would be the fairy tale story. Damien Oliver going for a race-to-race double, but he's going for his first Bendigo Cup in his final ride. Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. won the race in 2007 with Captious. No alligator blood to chase here as he had last time.
He carried a big weight first up in the Heatherly Stakes, and he was only beaten less than 3 lengths behind Solcombe. He had no luck in the Naturalism Stakes, and then he went to the Group 1 Might and Power. I think you can rule a line through that run at Weight for Age when they went so quick. 4th up last preparation, narrowly beaten in a Mornington Cup. He profiles very similar for a race like this, and I think he's going to be hard to beat.
Ho Ho Khan is the oldest galloper in the field. The 9-year-old staying here, who hasn't won since the Hobart Cup of February 2022. Talia Hope continues her association. Mitch Freedman, he strapped Passant Staloon to win this race back in 2012. Tactics notification, they too would like to be more forward.
Whether he can is another thing. The wide draw does make it tricky because he's generally not the best into stride. Hoko Khan probably wants a little bit of sting out of the ground as well, even though this track has been presented perfectly and we're still on a good 4. He wouldn't mind if there was maybe a soft 5, but he's up against it here, Ho Khan, and I think he deserves to be the price that he is.
Kukaracha was able to win the Premier's Cup and beat Serpentine earlier this year. The Waller stable put those winkers on for the first time. Chris Waller yet to win a Bendigo Cup. This horse trained out of Mount Macedon. Lloyd Williams has won plenty of them. Bo Merton's chasing a Bendigo Cup just as his father did with True Courser in 2005.
He's built nicely through the preparation in terms of his distances, 15, 1800, now to 2000, then 2400, but he's been plain, so I don't know if he's just lacked fitness or whether he hasn't come back as well this time in, but he has been underwhelming in a couple of runs, and you would have liked to have seen more from him at Caulfield last time out.
Number 5, Muramasa, has been saved for next Saturday in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, so we push on to the 6 in Hastler War. Sue Murphy and Connections have still got a Melbourne Cup dream alive. He was racing so well last preparation, but Sue's put the taken the bar plates off and put the hoof pads on for the first time. Reading during the week, he's had some troubles with his feet this preparation.
And maybe with that gear change is an indication that he's on the improve, and I wouldn't read too much into that run at Hamilton last time out. He had a big weight, he was at a gap between runs. I think he'll be improved into this contest, and he's a quality stayer if he can find his best form.
Number 7 is Interpretation, another of those who is trying to keep the Melbourne Cup dream alive. He's been the well-supported favourite. Kira Maher and Dave Eustace won this race last year with High Emotion, who went on to run 3rd in the Melbourne Cup. This horse scratched for the Moonee Valley Gold Cup last week. The problem is he hasn't won for 811 days back to his European form.
He hasn't had many bad runs in Australia, but he's looked as though he was suitable in a couple of them, and he just hasn't been able to go on with it. It was a massive performance in the Bart Cummings last start, considering where he was in the run. He had a lot of traffic issues. He never really got clear until the race was all over, and that run shows you that he's capable of being competitive here. He did a similar thing in the Bart Cummings last year and then went to Geelong and was a touch disappointing. He's got the ability. Have a look at his run behind future history, even first up over the 1600. He just needs to come here and do it. That's the query with interpretation.
Trent Busserton and Natalie Young have a two-pronged attack on the Bendigo Cup. They start with Cesuro. Froggy's won it before, back in 2007 with Captious. This horse, the Moe Cup winner, but also third at this trip in the ATC Derby.
I think that's the key pointer, that he's ready to peak now out to this distance range. He's had 4 runs back this time in. He was too tough for them at Moe on speed in a fast run race, and he might just be ready now for the 1.5 miles.
The second of the Busserton and Young Gallopers is in the form of Braden Starr, who stays at the 2,400 metres. The winner of the Benalla Cup draws nicely to give him his opportunity at the trip.
That is the significant query that I've got, whether he can be effective at 2,400 metres in this grade compared to maybe if it was 2,000 metres. He was a good winner of the Benalla Cup, coming from off the speed and defeating inferior horses than what he faces here. He's going to need a soft run and a few things to fall his way if he is to see out the trip. I thought he was a little short at $8.
What about the 10 in Port Phillip for Julia Sandu, who was second to High Emotion in this race last year, comes back for another shot 12 months on.
Yeah, he was riding the crest of a wave on that occasion. His form doesn't look anywhere near as good this time in, but in fairness, he's been coming through stronger races, and maybe he just needed the fitness to build and get to his peak here now today.
Pesto was a dominant winner last time at benchmark 84 level at Caulfield. Jai McNeil, he's won this race before in 2020 on Princess Jenny, but he's got a wide draw to overcome here.
Even though he did come through what looks to be an inferior race on paper, what I would say is last preparation, he ran 5th in a chairman's quality prior to a Sydney Cup, and it was only beaten 5 lengths in a Group 1 Sydney Cup. So he's a quality stayer, and he was only 3rd up last time out. He might have more to give here, Pesto.
What about the 12 in Taraman Soru? Comes up with the inside alley for Daniel Stackhouse, who jumps aboard. A horse has been building through restricted company this preparation.
That's the key point. He is making a significant leap here, and he should be carrying a lot less weight than the minimum of 54 kilos if it was a true handicap.
What about the OTI team? They've got a two-pronged attack. The second of their hopefuls is Winner Clock here. Dean Yendall and Matty Williams with the last start Hamilton Cup winner.
It wasn't a bad performance. 2 starts back behind First Immortal, and then last time out he was a good winner of the Hamilton Cup. He looks as though he's suited to the rise in distance.
What about the 14 in Rick's Cafe here for Rhiannon Schiffer at Cranbourne? A great buzz for them and Carleen Heffel to have a runner here in the Bendigo Cup. She's an 8-year-old mare, but it's only start 14 this afternoon.
I thought she hit the line really well in the Pinka plate at Cranbourne last time out, and obviously this is a stronger race, and she gets to 2,400 metres for the first time, but she's a mare by a Melbourne Cup winner, so you'd like to think that she could stretch out in trip.
Mike Moroney's saves speak for the Archer on Saturday at Flemington, so we go to the local hope in 16 word timer for Matty Enright. Ran 4th in this race last year. That was on a preparation that saw him finish 4th at Matoa and 2nd at Horsham. He's used the same lead-up races this time around.
Unfortunately, I think it's a stronger race this year, and it's a very different track condition as well. I think he appreciated the heavy surface 12 months ago. His form on dry ground isn't as strong as that when there is some sting out, but he's going to be carrying the hopes of a few locals here in the Cup, and good luck to all concerned.
Well, BZ, there's a look at the 14 runners. They've made their way out onto the track and heading up towards the top of the starting gates for the APM Bendigo Cup. $500,000 on the line. A spot in the Melbourne Cup maybe on the line for a handful of them. Who wins the feature?
I want to be with the 2 horses that are considered the class animals of this race, in He's a Shocker and Luncey's. I thought they presented very well for a race like this. They both look like they're ready to peak out to the 2,400 metres, so I can make a case for both of those. Obviously, interpretation is going to be hard to beat if he can get clear at galloping room. He had absolutely no luck at Flemington in the Bart Cummings last start, and that back down to Swazero, who might be the horse that rolls forward and finds a prominent position in the run. But I thought He's a Shocker could run a really good race here at a backable price, and he hasn't got too many friends in the betting at this stage, but I think Damien Oliver is good enough to get this horse home.
It's been a terrific betting race. Late support for Interpretation. Got out to 3. Punters have stepped in. $3 into $2.80. So 0 now a $6.50 second elect. Braden Star $7.50. He's a shocker 8. Then double figures or better the rest. We've got Pesto 11. Luncey's 12. But the best backed runner, market mover and favourite, number 7, Interpretation. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website.
Great to catch up with Kieran Maher, who's part of the training partnership with the Cup favourite here in Interpretation. We haven't seen him hit the scoreboard in Australia yet, but this looks as good as opportunities he's had.
Yeah, I'm very happy with the way he paraded. He got back from an ordinary gate last start and hit the line really strong at Flemington. Yeah, similar. He's got a bit nicer gate. He looks to get a nice run on paper. Mickey D knows him well, and as I said, I think he presented really well.
You would have been hoping to get the Melbourne Cup ticket via the Bar Cummings last time. Things didn't quite go your way. Since then, has it just been able to try and to scratch from Moonee Valley last Friday night to give him his best opportunity here?
Yeah, that's right. Again, he drew ordinary at Moonee Valley, and it can be messy around there, and given he went so well at Flemington, we thought Bendigo would be the better option.
From the draw today, where do you like to see him settle up ideally?
It should be around midfield, maybe just forward of midfield, just behind the speed would be ideal. And yeah, if he can stay one off and then just blend into the race when Mickey wants him to.
Do you feel he's got the class to win a Bendigo Cup?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he should be close to peaking today, I think, and I think that should hopefully be good enough.
And no doubt daring to dream that if he was to win, that might be enough to secure a spot on the first Tuesday in November.
Well, one step at a time. We'll see if we can secure a spot first.
Best of luck, Kieran.
Cheers.
He's been heavily supported, now into $2.70 is Interpretation. So good luck to Kieran Maher, and he's got a lot of horses aimed towards Cup Week, and just trying to see if they can add another one here to the first Tuesday in November with Interpretation, who's been well supported off that luckless effort in the Bart Cummings, into a clear favourite at $2.70. But the crowd has swarmed, taking their vantage spots here on a magnificent afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky, only a light breeze, keeping the conditions ideal. And we only had a small field of 7 runners in the Bendigo Cup last year. Great to see a lot more turn up for the contest this year, Ben.
It's got a terrific honour roll as well. You go back to the early 2000s. There's a Gallic bar named here after the dual winner of Gallic for Lloyd Williams. Basant Staloon, many will remember his big 8-length triumph back in 2012. Mitch Freedman actually strapped him on that occasion. He's got a runner in the race today. The Offer won it in 2015 and went towards the Melbourne Cup. Godolphin even had their fair share with Huey and Francis of Assisi in 2016 and 17. Red Alto in 2018 for the locals for Brent Stanley, and then High Emotion last year. But Rick McIntosh has got the best seat in the house for the 2,400 metre starting point, and what a start it is. Rick taking it away for the Bendigo Cup.
Moving in well for the APM Animal Health Bendigo Cup of 2023. Interpretation has been some kind of go here. He's going to run $2.60 favourite for the Cup. $8.50, he's a shocker to give Ollie the fairy tale. You can buy his gear on fanfave.com.au, and if you can catch up with him, you can get him to sign it. $8 to Zero and Braden Star, the 2 stablemates. 11 for Pesto. Winner clock's been 21 into 17 for Yendel as Interpretation goes into line. 14 to face up to the starter. Pesto with the white cap on. Luncey's the grey in the same Rupert Lee colours. Kukaracha's got to go to the middle. And Rick's Cafe in the biggest assignment of his life, Rick. He goes to the outside gate. 14 to run. It's a magic start, this, at the Bendigo Jockey Club for the APM Animal Health 2023 running of the Bendigo Cup. Field is set now. They're in the starter's hands for the Cup. And they're racing. Tara Mansour down on the inside, jumped okay with Braden Star. No speed from the local Wertheimer. Interpretation comes across. So does Kukaracha. Port Phillip and Cesuro, as expected, has got a bit of early pace. Ho-Ho Khan goes forward from the wide gate, trying to chance his arm, and then Pesto slotting across from Luncey's. They greet the judge and the crowd with a circuit to go. You're allowed to give them a roar here. It's Cesuro on top now from Ho-Ho Khan as they start to swing out of the straight. Port Phillip, last year's runner-ups, got right behind them, and Pesto's left on a limb 3 deep. Kukaracha's over on the inside, and Interpretation, the well-tried favourite, gets a nice spot. He's just a little bit better than centre field, and he's got to one off the fence on the outside of Braden Star as they go to the back. A length and a half to Luncey's, who's stalking the favourite. Then followed next in the race then by Tara Mansour. He's over on the inside, minding his own business, followed by Rick's Cafe, who's wide, then Wertheimer. Well back in the field then was He's a Shocker. He's back running in second last position. Winner Clock is last of all as they travel to the back straight, and Hassler War, the South Australian, just in front of them. So Cesuro, the last start Moe Cup winner, led Pesto by 3 parts. Ho-Ho Khan, the Hobart Cup winner from last year's, in third place. Kukaracha, the inside. Port Phillip is the Yarra Valley Cup winner early on in the year, is next, and Braden Star, the Vanilla Gold Cup winner from Grand Final Evers on the inside of Interpretation. Rick's Cafe, Hassler Wars making a move, the Port Adelaide Cup winner right around the outside, tracked into it now by Luncey's as the runs come early at the 800 metres. Wertheimer was next, a place getter from last year, then Tara Mansour. He's a Shocker, and the last start Hamilton Cup winner, Winner Clockers last. Newitt's put the cat amongst the pigeons in the cup. He lets Cesuro go before the turn, and he found 2 or 3 lengths quickly from Pesto. Interpretation to the outside makes his move, then Kukaracha, followed by Luncey's to the outside, and then Tara Mansour. Cesuro led into the straight. He's starting to run on empty. Down the outside comes Braden Star, his stablemate, getting out with Interpretation on the outside. Then Luncey's, Braden Star, Interpretation. He's trying to break an 811-day drought. Braden Star still fights though. Braden Star, Interpretation, last stride. Interpretation's done it. 811 days without a win. Good luck in the Melbourne Cup. Tips out Braden Star and the fast finishing Tara Mansour. Then Luncey's He's a Shocker, followed by Pesto, Kukaracha, Port Phillip. Then Wertheimer. Cesuro got the stitch, followed by Winner Clock. Well back, Hassler War, Rick's Cafe, and Ho-Ho Khan. He's done it in
Eustace have gone back-to-back in the Bendigo Cup. High emotion last year, Interpretation this year, and just like last year, they might end up in the Melbourne Cup. Interpretation, Rick McIntosh summed it up beautifully. It had been an eternity since he won a race. He ran in the Melbourne Cup last year and failed to finish. 12 months on, he's a Bendigo Cup winner, and he may well just front up again on the first Tuesday in November. Braden Star has tried very hard. Luncey's out wide, and Cesuro set a cracking speed, but Interpretation, Mick D and Kira Ma and Dave Eustace are taking home the Bendigo Cup glory.
He was given the beautiful ride there by Michael D, and he's just held on from Braden Star, who put in a big bound right on the line. Interpretation's head was coming up. Braden Star's head was right down when it counted, but there is a margin in the favour of the favourite, Interpretation, who's been heavily supported here. Very popular result with punters, and he might be the horse that can progress now onto the first Tuesday in November. So you can see there on that low angle, wasn't a lot separating, a number of key chances. And it looks like it'll be Tara Mansour who might get up to run third, but we'll have to wait for the photo there with the minors, with Luncey's carrying the big weight in behind. But a thrilling Bendigo Cup. He couldn't have been given a better run in transit by Michael D. He made sure he began well. He made sure he had clear galloping room, unlike last time out at Flemington when he was held up at a key stage. And he's got clear air. He's worked into the race at the right time, and as you can see with those shots with Kira Ma, hands held in the air, it's the job done at this point. Let's see what transpires from here. 7, 9, 12 and 1. The numbers are official as we go down to winning trainer Kira Ma.
Well, Kieran, it's back-to-back wins in the Bendigo Cup for the stable, and well, High Emotion was able to win it last year and end up in a Melbourne Cup. You might be on a similar trajectory here. Well done.
Thank you very much. Great job by the team, and unbelievable ownership group. You can see the excitement here. Like the horse was a colt last year when he ran in the Cup, and didn't really go to plan. He went forward. There was a lot of pressure, and he's a gelding now, and I think he's a lot more genuine. I thought he just presented super today, and the team, as I said, have done a great job. Jack Turnbull and the team down at Cranbourne, and Mickey D, he had to go back from a wide gate, and beautiful ride today, and he needed all of his strength to get him over the line. I think he had a bit of a think about it as well.
Were you thinking halfway down the straight, oh no, not again? He had to want it today, didn't he?
He did have to want it, but I thought he had the right run. Mick got off. It looked like he had to go early, but he just took luck out of it, got on the back of the horse who's moving into the race, and presented him early, but I think Mick's strength got him over the line.
What about the Melbourne Cup? Is that the next stop for him?
Bloody oath. It should hopefully get him up a couple of places, and hopefully he can take his spot.
Has he got what it takes to win a Melbourne Cup?
That's what we always bought him for, and to sneak him in on the minimum that's the idea of trying to win a cup, and hopefully he can. He's certainly in good form, and High Emotion ran really well out of this race last year, so hopefully he can do the same.
Kieran, best of luck Tuesday in November. Enjoy this one.
Cheers, and I think Ozzy and John are at the Emerald Hotel, so they'll be tearing the walls down, and Cole McKenna's in the ownership as well, so no, great group.
The Emerald will be rocking. Kirramar and Dave Eustace win back-to-back Bendigo Cups. Mick D wins his first Bendigo Cup. Mickey, talk us through that. When you're on a horse like Interpretation who hasn't won for a while and it comes down to a tussle, what goes through your mind going up the straight?
Look, he come into it really well, and credit to the second horse, Braden Star. He come with us, and I think my bloke just had the last crack, and the stamina left in the tank, and he was able to just put his head in front over the line. So great training performance by Kieran and Dave and his team. He ran super last start with not much luck, and after the Bart Cummings, I felt that he's right where he needs to be, and he was building perfectly for a race like today.
It seemed when they ran into the back straight, you were just in a lovely position. Is that where you sort of imagined you might end up in the run?
Yeah, exactly where I wanted to be, but I was mindful, and I could sense they were starting to come, and I just wanted to half card and then and popped out maybe just after the 1,000 metres, and they went around and let them go, and then we're able to work to the outside again and build into the race from then on.
What about the thrill of winning a Bendigo Cup in front of a big crowd?
Yeah, look, it's obviously a time-honoured country cup. It's one of the big ones, so I'm very thrilled to get it on my CV.
You speak of the big ones. Can he run a race in the biggest one of all, the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, well, providing he pulls up well. He peaked perfectly for today, and he's probably still on the way up in his form, so providing he runs well and gets a gate, and everything goes to plan within a week, I'm sure he'd run a great race.
Well, Mickey, a Bendigo Cup added to the trophy cabinet. Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
There we go. Mick D and Kira Ma take the spoils, but Kate, Nat Young and Trent Busselton's horse ran so bravely. You're catching up with Nat.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ben. Braden Star, Nat, so close. You've just caught up with Blake, and he thought he had it.
Yeah, he did actually. Look, he gave him an absolute superb ride. We used the gate. It was really just a bob ahead on the line, unfortunately. Kudos to the horse. He's had a long preparation, and he just keeps giving his best every time he steps out. But at least, got the 24, no problem today. So, that's good going forward. Whether we can miss Bell now or carry on maybe to that $500,000, final on the 18th. You never know. We'll see how he pulls up. But, seconds are really annoying.
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? That's racing. Well, sorry about that.
I wanted to go home with another cup.
You are the Cup's queen at the moment. Next time.
Yeah, there's always next time. But look, as long as he pulls up sound and well, yeah, we've just got a great horse that tries every time he goes out. And, you know, it's probably the staff at home that are probably more disappointed, you know. They love it when we walk in the next day with the trophy and everyone gets to have the photo with it. So, yeah, great work for the team. The team's going excellent. So, you know, you can't get that without a great team around you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Gracious in defeat, Natalie Young with Braden Starr, who was given a beautiful ride. You can see back along the inside, almost last at this stage, and Blake McDougall just elected to stay in. He didn't try to come out. He just saw, well, I don't know if I can come out and try and win. He thought, I'll cut the corner, and he snuck through underneath Hoko Khan at the right stage, and Braden Starr was able to then to get into the race nicely. At that stage, he then improved very quickly and got to Interpretation, who'd been put into the clear, and Michael D just made sure, unlike last start at Flemington when he had a lot of rump stake in front of him, he made sure he had every chance and no excuses today. He popped off very early. It was a great battle between these two horses the entire way up the straight, and this angle can be a little deceiving at Bendigo, and it looks as though at this stage Braden Starr's still in front, but when the camera levels up, it was Interpretation that gets his head down just when it matters.
Rick McIntosh nails the call as well. Interpretation. He needed to break the drought to get into the Melbourne Cup, and that's exactly what he's done. Kiramar and Dave Eustace back to back. Mickey D with his first in the hometown feature at Bendigo. We're off to a break on racing.com. More on the other side.
I remember being 17. Used to look at all the famous people in magazines. These celebrities are so lucky they live in the dream. 40 million for a mansion somewhere in Beverly Hills. Who knew that life could be real? Yeah. Fast forward now, I'm working like 2 jobs, minimum wage, no money left to withdraw, bank account so negative. Had to borrow rent from a relative. I told myself this ain't the way to live. So broke, but at least I got love to give. I'm just so tired of paying bills. Someday I'ma see how I'll be. It's been a long time coming, but I'm on my way. I got some really great news. We should celebrate. Yeah, the drinks on me, cause I just got paid. Hey, we feeling alright. Yeah, I've been working on a file just to make loose change. I'm saving every single dollar